Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where the sky must be falling because I absolutely, positively love this Superman comic from the Golden Age. Yes, today we're covering Action Comics 123, published in August 1948. Though it was probably really published in either July or June of 1948. 50 Ways to Kill Superman. I can't believe a mobster story is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, so far Golden Age Superman story. This definitely rivals Cinderella a la Superman, and some of the other ones I kind of enjoy, like Candytown USA, which has that amazing twist at the end. But this one is so good. I can't believe how good it is, and it really insults me. It's like, I can't believe they made me eat my words with a mobster story. Yep, it is a mobster story. Thank you, Whitney Ellsworth, creator of Congo Bill, of all people, who wrote this issue. I do intend to talk more about the authors of these issues, but they're so interchangeable in the Golden Age, and sometimes I can't even find out who the author is. This ends up being a problem in a video I'm going to do soon. I forget which issue, where I literally could not find who the author was, because the comics themselves aren't listing them. I've had to look up on either like the Fandom Wiki or Comics Vine who the author of each one of these Superman stories are, and it's not always made clear. Like I said, it's not listed in the comic, or at least the versions of the comic I'm reading. But Ellsworth, you do a damn fine job here. Okay, let's delve right into this one, because already it's spectacular. All the different crime syndicates, racketeers, mobsters, what have you, are all meeting out in the middle of the ocean to try to get away from Superman. They do know he can fly over the ocean. By the way, each member has its own speedboat, so they didn't like rent a yacht. They're all just meeting in different speedboats. It's a massive collection of speedboats. You don't think Superman's not going to notice this? But it's an amazing visual. I really love the speedboat mobster meeting. While they happen to be there, a new island just pops out of the water near them. What a random thing, and an amazing thing just to happen. This island gets called Island X, and they declare it is now their island, which they're going to turn into a crime utopia. Alrighty, just spectacular work here. Great setup. Now, Lois and Clark go to investigate this island, but the mobsters won't let them on it. Which is really weird, because they're like, wait, why are a bunch of racketeers here? But we've already seen newspaper headlines about Island X and about how the racketeers have control of it. So either that panel didn't need to exist in this comic, or Lois and Clark need to read the newspaper they're on. Anyway, the racketeers decide there needs to be a king of Island X, because that's how crime syndicates work, right? They have kings, and they were all having meetings. They're not actually together. Anyway, this is going to be decided over who can kill Superman. So they make this massive punch-out card, which all the different slots have a photo of Superman's face, and you have to punch into it to grab your specific way to kill Superman. This is how they decided. They came up with 50 different ways to kill him, and they're punching his face to get them. What a wonderful use of money. Now, there hasn't really been a story that's been collecting the idea of like tracking what does and doesn't work on Superman. And to be fair, this wildly changes per issue. There's sort of in one of the first Lex stories where he's keeping him distracted by challenging him to different things that I liked, because it did seem like Lex was testing what did and didn't work. But usually you only kind of get him going through, say, like a maze or a puzzle that has death traps. So this is when the story becomes like different montages of ways to kill him, and a lot of them are things we've already seen, like flamethrowers. They've already wasted the shooting him aspect, something we've seen many times in the title page. So good job not doing that in the story. They also try wild animals, drills. Like I said, you've seen a lot of these before. Also, Superman knows this is happening. I think it would have been more interesting if you let this be a surprise and he just got annoyed about it, but due to his sensitive hearing and telescopic vision, he knows this is going on. So he puts on a ring that they decide to leave as a mystery for a long part. It does seem like he's putting on this ring to help with his invulnerability, which would have been crazy because this guy is already pretty OP and unstoppable and invulnerable. He doesn't need a magic ring of immortality. But no, it's actually a recording device with microfilm. So he's recording all the different attempts on his life. So none of these things seem to be working. And if this had kept on, the story would have, became boring and wouldn't have been one of my favorites. But this is where things get good. They kidnap Lois, which is usually the worst idea you can possibly do. So now Superman's on the island and there is one more slot left in the punch-out card. So the last guy punches into the card, and the final way of trying to kill Superman is to break his heart. So he's going to kill Lois because he thinks Superman loves Lois to break his heart. Oh my god, that actually might work. Someone has thought about Superman and is causing a threat that speaks to who Superman is. Are we sure this is a Golden Age comic? This has actual thought behind it. There is characterization. This could actually destroy Superman. Wow. Where has this writing been? No one has put this much thought into a comic yet. It's beautiful in its simplicity. Yeah, kill Lois. It's going to destroy him. He is the most human superhero. As Grant Morrison said, like, he can take bullets. One, like, grimace or bad look from Lois can destroy his whole day. And they're going to take her away from him. This, of course, brings out the real Superman. He's no longer playing, so he just immediately uses his super speed and knocks every single one of these criminals into one of the 50 slots. So I'm guessing there was only 50 members of the crime syndicate. I guess that does make sense because they were punching out the holes. That's one of those things where my brain's too slow to pick up on it. Yeah, there had to be 50 guys. And each one of their faces is in the slot as Superman gets his revenge. Lois, even at the end, has this realization that Superman might be vulnerable. Yeah, he is the most human of superheroes. People forget that. He is the most human of superheroes. It's one of the most fascinating things I heard Paul Cornell talk about at Comic-Con one year when he was doing Lex Luthor stories, how inhuman Lex has become. He can just kill a guy and not feel anything about it. But because of how Clark was raised, he is the most human person. And if you try to explain this to Lex, because this is sort of philosophical, and I think something the movies always miss is they make him very simplistically philosophical, like the Lex in Batman v Superman and all his little rants. And of course, the Kevin Spacey from Superman Returns talking about Prometheus a lot. But Lex kind of doesn't get philosophy. He's too literal. He's too scientific. You would try to explain to him because of how Superman is. He is the most human person. He values life. It's the small things, the things that get us every day that seems to actually hurt him. I'm not like physically hurt him, but like mentally and metaphorically hurt him. Killing Lois would destroy him because it would break his heart. And Lex doesn't have any of that because of who he is. He is basically a monster. And if you try to explain this to Lex, he would only understand that, no, I am a human. I am a biological human. And he is an alien. He can't fundamentally understand that Superman is more human than he ever will be. God, this is having me talk about the good things about Superman and why I love Superman on the basis of the character, which is what they should be doing instead of just content. You see, I do love Superman stories. I just love Superman stories, not just throwing in a character to just save the day from whatever random thing you thought of that week. So that is it from Action Comics 123, 50 Ways to Kill Superman. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when new videos up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let us ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow? And where do you get a printout of a giant Punch-Out card? Okay, have a great day.